Thank you for watching Hack the File. I'm Michael Lopez, and on today's episode, we're going to be looking at doing a new series on the book Getting Started Becoming a Master Hacker by Occupy the Web. Enjoy. All right, so we're back. I started two new series this week. I'm going to continue to do all the other series, but I like to keep it lively here. I don't like to learn the same thing. I like to indulge in all kinds of areas of cybersecurity. I find it fascinating, and it's fun to learn. It's interesting. It's always changing. It's dynamic. So I'm gonna revisit um, a book that I did in college for my bachelor's degree in cyber, and it was this book, "Getting Started Becoming a Master Hacker" by Occupy the Web, and I really liked the book, but when I was going through it for the first time, uh, you got to remember I was just barely getting into cyber. I was barely like finding out what it was. Um, this book, I remember going through it, and I remember learning a lot, but it didn't really comprehend 100% about what I was doing because I was so new to cyber. And this book, I think we were doing it for the offensive um, cyber class that I was taking. So I was taking an offensive cyber class, and I took a defensive cyber class. And in the offensive one, oh man, I made my glasses dirtier by cleaning them. Anyways, shoot. Um, Took an offensive cyber class, and this is the book we went through, right? So the teacher had us read this and then go through and basically do it, right? And then he had his own assignments and stuff. It was really good. It was really fun class. So we did basically some stuff out of the book and whatever. He created his own lessons, I think, and it was really interesting. So, but I don't remember much about it. Okay, because it was like one of the first classes I took, like a prereq. So I think I'm going to make a series on it, and I'm going to go through it, and I'm actually going to go through the lab setup too. That way we have, a bunch of different videos that help you set up your lab, because I think it's important. You can't do any of this stuff um, unless you understand how to set up a virtual lab. And I found that you could go to YouTube, you could text something into Copilot, or you could text something into GPT, and they'll give you like a step by step on how to set up a virtual environment or whatever. But I found that these books, certain books like this book, ethical hacking book, maybe the Python book for hackers, do a really great job, a better job, I would say, in the showing you how to set up a lab, because it's specifically for hacking and stuff, right? And practice of hacking and stuff like that in cyber. So um, it's for the book especially, they have to be able to show you easily how to set up a virtual environment. That way you're um, able to follow the book, right? And trust me, this took me, I would say, 3 months of troubleshooting on how to get it done the right way. Especially I did it on the laptop, so it was a little different. Laptop doesn't have as much power as a desktop, but now I've transferred to a desktop, so it should be a lot easier. Um, so I'm going to go through this book, and I'm actually going to I'm going to skim over stuff that I'm just gonna paraphrase stuff or summarize stuff. I mean, and then, but the virtual environment, I'm gonna actually show you how to set it up for the most part, because I already have mine set up, but it's exactly the same. So I'm just, I'm gonna go through it. I'm gonna show you how to do it again, and as best as I can, and then you can figure out the rest. But it's not too hard, right? And then we're gonna go through each chapter, right? That way I don't miss what we're miss important things. So, all right, like I said, I always do an intro. I always read as much as I can about the author or whatever. So let's start. All right, so getting started becoming a master hacker by Occupy the Web. So that's his, I guess that's his book name. I don't know his real name, but that's how he publishes his books by. That's how he does his interviews. This guy's a really big dude in cyber. He's been on a lot of shows on YouTube, interviews and stuff. He has his own website called hackersarise.com. We'll click on that and look at it. You can pay for, see, I've already got it starred. That means I visited a lot. You can pay for his courses, and I click on courses right here, and he's got a lot of online courses. Linux Basic for Hackers. And what's funny is I make a series of his book, Linux Basics for Hackers. So he also wrote this book, Linux Basic for Hackers. And you can pay and get 50% off and all that. And you can, like, let's click on this Linux Basic for Hackers. I'm sure it's based off of his book. So, you get a free preview here. Yeah, you gotta sign up. So I'm not gonna sign up. But anyways, pretty cool guy, I guess, and got his own setup. So you can where was I? So you can check that out. He has trained hackers at every one of the U.S. military branches and the national intelligence agencies. To learn more about Occupy the Web, listen to his interview, go to hackersarise.com. So he's done a lot of interviews, okay? He knows his stuff. We're not going to do prefaces. We're not going to do any of this stuff. He goes into, like, ransomware and stuff like that. So I really like the way he writes his books. If you're a beginner and you know nothing about hacking or nothing about cybersecurity, he's gonna give you a little bit of information that's gonna keep you interested. Introduction to Master Hacker. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with the first step. Leo Su. Welcome back, my aspiring master hackers. I was inspired to write this book to follow on my unexpected successful Linux Basics for Hackers. So this is a great book. I'm actually doing a series on that. I'm still continuing to do videos on that. Hopefully we can get through that book. We'll skip all this stuff. Professions for hackers, you already know that, but I mean, he has a lot of perspectives in here that you should read. We're gonna skip it because we're gonna get down to the nuts and bolts of this book. I don't like to skip this stuff, but I am military because I've already read it, but you can pause the video, read it, right, and then unpause it. Pause it here, read it. But it just goes over like 0-day developers, what 0 days are, what infosec engineers are, Linux skills, that you should have to get into this book. The history of hacking, I think, is very important. You need to read this or read up on the history of hacking. And so these could be buzzwords, right? So, like I've always said, true education is knowing where to start and knowing what to research and what to learn. It's or else you're just wandering in a lost world and trying to figure it out yourself, wasting time. And that's the power of school, or videos or like this or whatever. You guys can benefit from my schooling, and then I can give it to you, and then you guys would actually know where to start, where to learn. um Always, I say always start with history. Find out how hacking started, find out what is it, find out, like, when cybersecurity started, when IT started, and all that, what organizations. You got to start with the history of something, And there's times where I thought that was stupid. Like, why do we need to know, But you do. I don't care what anybody says. You need to know. You need to know your history on what you're studying. That's just ridiculous. You're going to start studying something and you have no clue of what it is, where it came from, the origins of it. Because once you know all that stuff, that helps you. It helps you understand where it's going and how it has evolved over the years, and etc., right? That's important. There's not only technical things in the world. That's a stupid way to see things. You need to understand the philosophy, and you need to have some kind of clarity of thought when it comes to the future of things, and the past of things, and the present of things too, as well. So you guys can pause it, read this. In the beginning, there was no clear cut, unlike the Bible. Most Muslims, and he goes into the history of like electronics and engineering, and right, agencies like the FBI, the CIA, a bunch of different major events in cybercrime. The Morris worm. Um, this one is a great story you should read. So you can pause this and read this, or you can go, look up the Morris worm, 1988. This is a really cool story. Okay. And the Melissa virus. So this guy obviously knows his history, right? And that's the reality of the nature of the beast. You must know the history of something. I think it's important. Like I said, I've changed my mind multiple times on that. I thought it wasn't important, but no, it is, because that way you understand the beast you're dealing with, right? And so if you understand the viruses and the history of what has happened before, and you understand what could happen in the future, even worse, or how to prevent it, or how to use the old viruses. So he goes into a lot of history of it right here, right? And that's great, but I'm not going to go into it. This is not going to be a video on the history and all that. We're just going to get to the nuts and bolts of this book, right? And here goes another one. The nation of Georgia and South Ossetia. Operation Aurora. That's a great one. Now this, you got to remember too, like, this stuff is the stuff that I'm researching in a couple different classes in my master's classes, right? And he's giving it to you here in a book. He's giving you not the research on it, or the idea, or anything above that. He's giving you points of reference. That's what I call them. Yeah, that's what they're called. Points of reference. So you can go out. He's pointing you in the right direction, so you can go out and get the idea, right? So you're getting the idea of looking these up, and so Operation Aurora. Do some research on that. Look that up and see what that was all about. Right? And then that leads you down, but don't get too far down the rabbit hole. So when you start researching this stuff, stay on point. Don't go off on, you're going to read something and go, oh, well, now I don't even know what a PLC is. And then you go dive into PLCs and you get stuck down that, because that's a big rabbit hole too. What you want to do is, you're reading it and you say, okay, now, but what is a PLC? Just Google that. Programmable logic controllers are so-and-so and this, and that's it. Don't go down deep to that hole on this. That's something you're interested in, because it's going to divert you from your path and in what you're doing in cybersecurity, because it's all linked. Okay, you just look it up and say, okay, now I know a little bit about PLCs. I understand what I'm reading, and you move on. Go back and keep reading, right? Whatever you're researching. You're gonna, well, what is a SCADA hacking anatomy? I want to know what that is. Google it real quick, research it a little bit, come back out, and go stay back on track, right? PlayStation Network, hack. This is a good one. Actually, there was on YouTube on I can't remember what his name is, but Jack Rysider. He's got a cool couple of little YouTube channels. One is um, Darknet Diaries, and he goes over. I think he interviews the guy that was involved in this. So, I mean, there's a lot of cool incidents, right? So, man, he puts a lot of them. So he really wants you to understand what hacking is. I mean, that's the gist I get from this, right? I mean, when I first read this, I didn't understand that. I was just reading this, and I was like, well, what does he want me? Why is he putting so much history into here? I mean, this is stupid. But it's not. So, Internal Blue right here, that's a great one. This was, if you're going to do any research, I would start with this one, Internal Blue. I mean, I wouldn't start with it, but I would make sure this is a priority. Internal Blue is a great hacking case or cyber case that involves us and shadow brokers, right? So, the NSA, National Security Agency, right? And in a nutshell, you want to read this. So in a nutshell, they they basically hacked our NSA and stole Internal Blue and created this WannaCry exploit with Internal Blue, right? So they took the NSA was working on some kind of a weapon, cyber weapon. I mean, it's really interesting. It's a really cool story that really happened. Cyber weapon that took advantage of an SMB vulnerability, right? Which is a mail protocol, mail protocol, and they took advantage of a vulnerability that had to do with that, and that's just the gist of it. And they called it Internal Blue. So they basically engineered this malware that and kept it secret from the the whole country, of course, right? From everybody. It was a weapon, cyber weapon. I'm gonna go tell everybody, yeah, I created this cyber weapon. I mean, that's debatable, right? But that's what they did. They kept it. And so somebody hacked into the NSA, nation state hackers, right? Now these are hackers that work for governments as well, right? So there's a war going on that people don't understand in cyber realm, that each powerful country has their own nation state hackers that work for them and hack other countries to keep to see what's going on in the cyber realm. And it's basically a cyber war, but it's not, right? It's so complicated. But anyways, they hacked us. They took our Internal Blue and they used it to create other ransomwares like WannaCry, Petra, and not Petra, right? And so do some more research on that. It's very, very interesting. But I guess in this book it's telling us that we're gonna be doing some hacking with the Internal Blue NSA ransomware code, right? And this goes more into what it does. And like I said, yeah, look, so use the SMB server message block protocol, port 445. If you don't know what that is, Google it. It's just protocols for mail. Anyways, so it's, I guess he starts us off in this book with a lot of, and I'm not gonna, like I said, I'm gonna waste maybe 20 minutes, narrating this or descripting it, but I'm not gonna read it, right? Because this will take a couple videos to read through this. The cybercrime law enforcement. So then he goes into different agencies and laws and stuff like that. And that stuff is a whole nother class. Cyber law, if you want to take cyber law, you want to look up cyber law. It's another part of cybersecurity that is another branch of it. And cyber law, I would say, if you ever wanted to try to make some money, you could be a cyber law lawyer. It's completely different, but here in the next 10 years, I would say every firm is going to have a lawyer that has a degree in cyber, or has a, not a degree, but has a cyber law classes or experience, or they're going to have a cyber security dude person that knows cyber law. I don't know. But anyways, it's going to be a thing here in the next 10, 15, 20 years. Trust me. I don't know if it's a thing now, but because I know there's a lot of law firms that handle their own, they bundle it with something or other, and they do handle cyber cases and stuff, but not as well as somebody that is well versed in cybersecurity and its laws. All right, look. So be careful out there. My message to all you is simply be careful out there. Even if you don't have malicious intentions, the knowledge that you are about to acquire can be misconstrued with as bad intentions. The website blows up while you're scanning it. No one is going to ask about your intentions before they throw you in prison. So, like I always say, when I'm doing these hacking books, ethical hacking books, um, you know, try not to give in to the dark side. You need to be mindful of your present, past, and future. You're gonna want to make sure you do this carefully and you do it legally, and that way you're okay. You know what I mean? You don't gotta worry about going to jail or getting in trouble, because if you think that doesn't happen, you need to um, watch Darknet Diaries. He interviews a lot of people that have done time in prison, in jail and prison for hacking. And if you do enough damage to a company or whatnot, then they will press charges on you and you will go to jail. All right. Anyways, so it's just like any crime. I mean, you're not gonna. You could learn how to rob a liquor store efficiently, but are you gonna go out and rob a liquor store? I mean, that's just ridiculous. You know it's wrong. You do. You're gonna go to jail. You get caught. It's the same thing with hacking. The problem is there's a niche field in hacking where it's not the same equivalent of saying robbing a liquor store. It's more of, you could work for a company that wants you to um, hack their website because it's a different vulnerability, a different set of skills. Right? Anyways, basic computer skills. It probably goes without saying that to become a hacker, you need some basic computer skills. These skills go beyond ability to create Word documents and watch YouTube videos or cruise the internet. You need to be able to use command lines in Windows, edit the registry, and set up network parameters. Many of these skills can be acquired in basic computer courses like CompTIA A+. So CompTIA A+, I started a series where I'm going to try to get certified, but I had to put it on hold because I got a job where I'm teaching at a different place now, so I'm trying to get set up there, and then I want to see if they'll pay for it if I start teaching cyber at the college. So I'm not teaching cyber yet, so I might have to put that off for about a year, and then see if they want to pay for it if I become a cyber teacher. Who knows? You know what I mean? But I'm going to put it out. I'm not going to pay for it. I'm going to have somebody else pay for it. Networking skills. You need to understand the basics of networking, such as DHCP and AT. So he's just going through some prerequisites, and he's promoting his website again. There's nothing wrong with that. Linux skills. It is critical to develop Linux skills. So he's just going through all the stuff that you need to know. In programs, Wireshark or TCP dump. Wireshark is the most widely used sniffer protocol. We're probably going to do some Wireshark. We've done it. We know how to use it. Virtualization, we're going to set up our own virtual. You know, you need to know concepts. So this is actually pretty cool. He's letting you know, like I said, he's pointing you to, he's giving you points of reference. And that's what education is, right? So he's saying, hey, go look at this, go look at this, go look at it. And that's where you start. That's why I like books, well-written books, right? And with great teachers. You know, obviously he's a great teacher. Like he sees, you know, he understands what education is. And you know, he might not know everything, nobody does, but he's pointing you in the right direction to I guess in what his book says, becoming a master hacker. So he's giving you all the directions. Okay, I like that. So database skills, web applications, forensics, and you know all this stuff I've done. All this stuff is great. Advanced TCP/IP, you know, the three handshake protocols. I mean, you need to know the TCP/IP and how these. And this is very important. And this is at the start. You're gonna skip stuff like this, and it's fine because you're not gonna use it off the back unless you got a job where you're handling TCP/IP headers constantly. But it's good to understand how it's broken up and how it transfers the packets, and then how it transfers them and how it reassembles them. Right? It uses headers, you know, on the TCP protocol, right? So it's gonna add headers and put them together and take them apart, put them in the same order that it received it. So I mean that's actually how it works. So I mean this is something that you need to, if you're getting deep into hacking, you need to try to see, you know, remember how this works, um, memorize it, right? Reverse engineering, intangible skills, think creatively, problem solving. So you need all this stuff to be a hacker. That's why it's so great. Persistence, essential tools. This is tools for master hacking. Nmap is one of the essential tools he uses. Wireshark, Metasploit. Metasploit is going to have us use that. I can guarantee it. The more experience you get with Metasploit, the better. Makes your life easier. And then you need to look up the history on Metasploit. You know, stuff like that. Burp Suite. It's $400 for the you know, the Burp Suite professional, but the free one is free, but it doesn't do near nothing what the paid one does a year. Usually, if you get for a pen testing company, they have their own copies of this. They pay thousands of dollars probably to get licenses for this for all their employees because it's that much used in pen testing. Basically, acts as a damn man in the middle is what it does. So you, it's just freaking awesome. If you get real good at Burp Suite, man, you can pen test or hack a lot of websites. What it does is it just intercepts. I think you could put Burp Suite on Firefox too, or an extension or something like that. Or you have to. I don't know. I've used it a little bit, and I want to use it some more. So hopefully, we'll use it a little bit more in this book. All right, error cracking. Error cracking is Wi-Fi password cracking. You're attempting to do that. Okay, so this is getting you on all the tools. SQL map, EtherCap. We all know what these are. If you look at my other videos of Kali Linux tools, I go through all these. Okay, John the Ripper. We're gonna use that in our password cracking videos. Hashcat is password cracking. Beef. Framework, you know, exploitation framework project, browser, whatever. THC Hydra is another one. Nessus, Showdown. So he's just talking about all this stuff, and here's the summary. There are 1,000 excellent tools for hacking and cybersecurity. Kali Linux alone, there are hundreds of hacking tools. There are so many hacking tools that it can be overwhelming, but we're going to start off with the ones he's talking about. All right, so let's see where we are at. The hacker process. Pause it, read this if you want. We're gonna skip it. So he's basically fingerprinting. He's basically telling you the process. And this is important, right? I mean, it's common sense, but it's a lot of people don't use common sense. You want to do some reconnaissance first, and that's Google dorking and looking up their, all the OSINT stuff. And he does a class in it, but OSINT is basically just open source intelligence, what it stands for. So it's anything on the web that you can get for free on the internet through Google dorking or whatnot, right? Facebook posts, anything. So active reconnaissance is part of that. You're gonna get as much information you can on your targets, your target. And that's the only thing I don't like about this stupid thing. Once you click on it, all right, password cracking. We're doing a series on that. I guess he's gonna go through a little bit of everything. That's the most common. And what's funny is that you go to a lot of jobs and that's what they use. Exploitation, post exploitation. After you exploit something, you need to cover your tracks. So this is gonna go through a lot of cool little techniques that we can get an idea, and we can actually have a concept of how hackers do it. All right, so let's get into the nuts and bolts of this chapter, creating your virtual lab. Now we're gonna do a quick revised version of this. I don't want to make this video too long and boring, and I don't want to sit here and troubleshoot it for an hour. So I'm gonna give you guys the revised version. Okay, I already have. Let me see how I can do this. Okay, so now, he says before we launch our journey, let's build our lab. Okay. So, okay. There are numerous virtual machine environments. So, a quick thing on a virtual machine environment. This box right here that I'm moving around is a virtual machine environment holder, or a virtual machine environment, which is Oracle VM VirtualBox Manager. It's an environment that I can put other virtual machines into, and you download them different ways. Some are ISO images, which are basically if you have like a hard copy on a CD or something like that, you can burn that into an ISO image, which is digital, and you can use that, right? So that's for games or physical copies of things like Windows 7 or something like that. Okay, then you've got VMD images. Well, VMDK images, they're a little bit different. VDI images. And so when you're installing them when you're installing these different images or different virtual, I would say virtual boxes in your virtual manager, in your environment, you do them either by new or add. Okay, so I've already got all mine set up, but I'm going to show you like the steps on how to do it. So it says there are numerous virtual machine environments available to you. These include VMware Workstation, VirtualBox, Parallels, and Parallels is for Mac. VirtualBox PC is for whatever, XEN. So there's Hypervisor, Hyper-V, and others. So these are all just different environments that hold your little virtual machines in them. Okay, it's the best way I can explain that. If you want to know more, do some more research on virtual machine environments. But we're going to be using VirtualBox because I already have it and I'm already using it, and it's friendly. I've used VM Workstation too, but it's good for like writing code and stuff and holding like VMs on there that I can hold code on and stuff like that. So um, he says he's going to walk you through setting up the lab, but he really doesn't in this book. The Ethical Hack book series book does a way better job, but it's still outdated, and you have to figure it out yourself. This one, he goes through, but he still doesn't show you step by step, which is fine. You have to figure it out yourself. Um, Virtualization means you can set up our attacking systems such as a Kali on the same physical computer as our victim systems such as Windows 7 or Metasploitable. There are two primary ways to virtualize operating systems: Type 1, full virtualization, or Type 2, on hardware assisted virtualization. Type 1 virtualization runs on bare metal, or in other words, there's nothing between the virtualization hypervisor and the hardware. In Type 2 virtualization, they were able to run a guest operating system inside the operating host. This is not the most efficient, but is excellent lab environment. So bare bones, bare metal is for if you want to basic. If you want, I don't know, if you want to have more power and password cracking and all that, you're gonna go bare metal. Virtual environment is a lot weaker. Kali Linux. Let's begin by downloading our attack system. Kali Linux is developed offensive security. Now this is your hacking box. So Kali Linux is going to be this one or this one. I've got an extra copy. So this is the newest one, and here's my original one that I've been using. So this is my attacker box, right? Kali Linux is your attacker box. Built to distribute Linux, Debian, blah 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 blah. Okay. You got to go to KaliLinuxImages.com or Kali.com. I'm going to show you really quick. So you're going to type in Kali Linux, download, and get Kali Linux, and then you want to look at this https KaliLinux.org. Looks legit. All right, I'm gonna open that up. I'm doing all kinds of stuff in the background of my computer right now, so it's gonna run a little slow. I'm downloading some stuff, so you want to always check this to see if your connection is secure. It is. You want to make sure it says HTTPS and not HTTP. That way you're not on the wrong one. Okay, so here's your bare bones. You don't want to do that. I'll make another video for that, but you want to do your virtual machine. So you're gonna go here. We're doing VirtualBox, so we're gonna do VMware. We don't want to. We're gonna do VirtualBox. We're gonna press this one, download it. It's gonna download it here. Okay, I'm not gonna do it, but it's gonna download it, and then you just open it and you run it and install it, and then it should give you an empty one of these VirtualBox managers once you install it and run it. Now, if you don't know how to, now this one I don't remember if it comes zipped, but if it does come zipped, then you need to download 7-zip. So type in 7-zip, then there it is, 7-zip, and here's the download. 7-zip download. HTTPS 7zip.org. Looks all legit. Download it. And you should have some kind of virus protection on your computer, because especially if you're downloading a bunch of files, it's really hard to make sure you're downloading from a trusted source. So you need to have some kind of like virus protection or something. Anyways, so now you're gonna unzip that. You're gonna look over here to your downloads, and well, that's something I'm downloading right now. So it should show up here on your downloads. You're gonna either right click. So here's this. Right click and extract all, or you're gonna show more and you're gonna extract with the 7-zip, 7-zip here or wherever you want to create your thing. Okay. Once you download the 7-zip, run it, and then you should have it installed. It's easy. Now I go to my documents and I go to I have a folder down here called virtual machines. So create a folder in your documents. You're not gonna have all this crap, but then create another folder called newest VMs, or you just keep it in your VMs. Okay, and here's all my newest VMs that I have. Here's my new, and I've got Metasploitable in here already, and I've got a VMDK file. Okay, so let's not get ahead of ourselves. So that's what I like to do. I like to create my own virtual machines directory in my documents, and then once you download that image on the Kali one, all you have to do is open it. So all you have to do, you don't have to go here, new or add in your virtual. All you got to do is go here, and wherever you downloaded the Kali Linux image, okay, mine is going to be in my virtual machines, like I said. So you're going to go to your virtual machines, and here's this one. You're going to click on this VBox image or something. Let me see which one. I'm pretty sure. Why doesn't it have open? Oh, it's right here. Really? So you're going to click on this. I think it's this top one, 1.1. But it's going to be one of these blue ones, okay? And you just double click on it and it opens. See, it opens down there, right? I'm gonna remove this one. And don't remove the files, just remove only. And I can actually remove this one if I want to. I'm gonna remove this one. Remove only. I don't want to delete all the files. So I've already got my Kali Linux box, but you just double click on it. Now, if it's not this one, it's going to be this other blue one, but it's one of these, okay? I'm sure it's this one. One won't start, and one will. So then you'll know which one it is. Then, once it's here, you just start it. And your username and password, when you first start it, is going to be Kali Linux. No, Kali and Kali, that's it. Kali username, Kali password. Okay, so that's down. That should be easy. That's the easiest one. Okay, once you get that, he's saying, you get it downloaded, then you do that. Okay. Actually, he says right here, 64-bit. Yeah, I don't know what he says right here. Okay. He's doing some extra stuff on here. I don't know what he's doing. And I'm not even going to read it, but your virtual box, he installs it after. That's kind of weird. Once you download that sucker, install it, and it's easy. You unpack. You probably don't even have to unpack it. It might just be when you download it, might be a .exe file. You just double click on it, run it, and then you run through the setup right here. Okay. You can download VirtualBox. You can see the download. Okay, click downloads. Make sure the download is the latest version. When you download is complete, click next. Yeah, so you might just be able to run it, and then you run through the setup, and that's it. You don't have to do anything special. Just run it. Okay, this is kind of confusing on how this is set up. Now he's downloading Linux, Kali Linux, and all you have to do is open it. So this is kind of old. I think this book is from 2017. I don't know. So it might have been a different way. You just open up the Linux image and you're good. So, oh no. Okay, so I don't know what that was, but installing Kali on VM. Okay, I already showed you. Just open it up so we can skip all this. I don't know what all this is. We don't need to know. Wasting time. All right, installing your target system. So throughout this book, we'll focus on two systems: Metasploitable 2, Linux, Windows 7. Download and install Metasploitable 2. Go to this source. We'll go here. Metasploitable is, and here's the definition: Metasploitable is intentionally vulnerable Linux virtual machine. This VM will be used to conduct security training, testing tools, and practice common penetration techniques. Okay, it's just a vulnerable thing that you can go on the website. You can get on it like a server. Okay, so you're gonna go here and you're gonna press download on this one. It's gonna download here, and that one's at Metasploitable. Posit, HTTPS, sourceforge.net, probably Metasploitable. So just put Metasploitable downloads, and it'll take you to that guy. The Metasploitable once you download it to log on, it's MSF admin, just like Kali username and password. This one's MSF admin. Remember that one. Okay, now this one to download it. Once you download it, we're gonna go into my where I have mine. I need to see what kind of file it is. So mine is in virtual machines, and I recommend you set up your own directory in your documents. And mine is old, so mine is here. And yeah, it's a VMDK file. So with the VMDK files, you have to set it up and then use that image, VMDK image, right? It gives it 8 gigabytes. So we're gonna go new on this one. So new, you're gonna name it Metasploitable, whatever you want to name it. I don't care, but I would name it Metasploitable, so you know it's Metasploitable. You're not gonna use an ISO image. You can skip this. This folder right here is gonna be where you keep where it's gonna keep the the virtual machine. So you probably want to put that in your virtual, C users drive VirtualBox VMs. So this will probably be okay. This will be the same. Like this, you won't have to change this. Like when you open this up, it'll probably have this already because that's where this VirtualBox manager is going to store these. Okay, so you probably don't even have to touch that. So don't worry about that. It's probably just leave that alone. Then you're gonna go to type Microsoft Windows. So this one on the Metasploitable is Ubuntu 64. So you're gonna go to Linux, and you're gonna go down to version, and you're gonna go down to Ubuntu 64. Okay, and you gotta give it a name. So I'm gonna name it, whatever. You're gonna give your name, Metasploitable. Next, you could leave this like this on the Metasploitable. It's fine because you're not going to do anything that's RAM intensive. You're going to leave the processor. So so you're going to go next. Now this one, you're going to go down to use existing virtual, right? And you're going to go here. You're going to go add. Or if yours is a little bit different, but it's not because this is the newest version for me. So you're going to go where you kept that file, the Metasploitable that you downloaded from this website here, and you extracted it with the 7-zip that you should have downloaded, or extract all here. You might not even need 7-zip. You should go where that file is at and find it. Mine is here. This one, it's going to look like that. And you're going to click on this, and you're going to open. That's the VMDK file. See, 8 gigabytes. You're going to choose that one. See how I chose it? We're going to go next. It's going to show you everything, and you press finish. I'm not going to do it, and then it creates that. Then when you open that Metasploitable, you might have to run through some it's going to initialize. It should open and initialize, and then all you do is to log on is you log on with MSF admin, your password. That's it. Logs you in. You got it. Okay, and then it's gonna that should be on here. So you should have this one, and then you should have your Kali Linux or 2 already. Okay, that's how you do that one. Go to the next one. I don't know what he's doing here. This is so weird. Like, he's scrambled up in here. That's what I'm saying. Like, this could confuse the crap out of somebody. So now he wants us to install Windows 7 because I guess we're gonna run Eternal Blue on that because that's a vulnerability. So install Windows 7. Things are a bit trickier. You have to fully engage. Okay, so he's installing Windows 7 and then he's gonna install MySQL. We're gonna do that later. I'm not gonna do that in this video, but we're gonna do Windows 7. Okay. And so this is Windows 7. Now you gotta be careful because on the internet there's a lot of crap. But I googled how to download free Windows 7 ISO image, and I found this video here. And this video is going to my favorite source, which is for ISO images, which is Internet Archive. So internetarchive.org or archive.org is a place where they store ISO images, and it's the software section. This is where you can get games to download on your ISO games, like say old Sega games. They archive a bunch of old stuff that is usually free. So Windows 7 is free now. Like Windows, I mean, it's so deprecated and out of date, and they have free ISO images. So this is not illegal. A lot of Sega games and Nintendo games, their ISO images are there. It's not illegal either, but it depends on which ones. Like if you can't buy certain old Sega games anymore anywhere, which you probably can at these mom and pop stores, but if it's not like available through Sega anymore or something like that, then you can probably download it. I mean, it's illegally to download because it's a relic. It's archived. It's something that's, But the thing is, you got to be careful with this archive.org, because you could be downloading illegal stuff. But this is, since I know that the Windows 7 is free, I'm not doing anything illegal. So you're gonna type in Internet Archives. You're gonna go to archive, and then I put in Internet Archive software, right? So it can give me the HTTPS archive.org details software. Okay, and then I clicked on that, and crap. Anyways, that took me to the okay, and that took me to the right now I'm running so much stuff on my computer. I'm just running it. Running scans. I'm running, so it's gonna be a little laggy right now. I'm making a video and all kinds of stuff right now. So, and I'm downloading something. Let me see. It's gonna take a minute. I can close this. I can close this. Alright, that should help close the bunch of stuff. Anyways, so yeah, we'll click on this one, and this is, I would say, I found the safest source. There's all kinds of stuff on here. They want you to download some executable that finds links to it, and yeah, they want to get you. So there's a lot of viruses and malware out there that you want to be careful. That's the only problem with this. When you're looking, for downloadable stuff or executables or whatnot, you got to be careful because you don't know if it's a trusted site. That's why you should have like a file scan on your desktop or whatnot. So let me see. Man, it's really lagging. So download this. So anyways, you're gonna go on here and you're gonna search for see how much stuff I can close. so you can actually, man, it closed everything. Just running it. Let me see what I'm running over here. I'm running a scan and a download at the same time. Oh, it's at 17%. Pause the scan. Alright. I don't know why that's not. But it's tripping. Alright, so here's this. Now you're gonna go here and you're gonna type Windows 7 because we're in the software section anyway. So you're gonna look down here. You're gonna say, "All right, look, that's in Spanish. Probably don't want that one. All versions, Windows 7, whatever." I did Windows Professional English, so I clicked on that one. You gotta let it think. Here you go. So you go here to this ISO image. You want the ISO image, okay? You don't want the torrent, none of that. So you're gonna click on this ISO image and it should download it. Now the thing is with Archive, oh man, it's tripping. With Archive, it takes a long time to download these. So here's mine. I'm downloaded it, and it says it's got 5 hours left. It's probably got about 2 or maybe 1, depending on how much of stuff I'm running now. You know, it might go way faster for you if that's all you're doing, but I'm doing all kinds of stuff, so it's gonna take forever. I'm running a scan. I mean, I'm making a video. I'm doing all kinds of stuff. So you're gonna download this image, okay? Notice that it's an ISO image. Like I said, it's usually if it's a hard copy or whatever. So we're gonna close that, okay? Now you're gonna come here and you're gonna click on the Windows 7. You're gonna click New. You're gonna call it Windows 7, and you're gonna select that ISO image once it downloads and you extract it or put it in your VM directory. You're gonna select that image. You're gonna click Windows. You're gonna go Windows 764, or yeah, and let's just go call it like that. And then you're gonna leave this here. Since this is a Windows machine, you want to give it about 6,000 megabytes. That's a little bit more. That's like it's like 6,000 megabytes is what, 6 gigabytes. Oh my god, my brain's retarded right now. This is the third time I've done this video. So you just want to give it about 6,000 megabytes. It's RAM, okay, and it goes a little bit faster. Now, if I'm like thinking, you want to use the existing, and you want to go to ISO image, wherever you have it. Let me see. What am I doing? Windows 7. So yeah, or this is the virtual hard disk, or I think you just give it whatever the minimum says, 32 gigabytes. If you can spare that on your computer, go ahead. And then, but you're gonna have to attach that. See, it won't let me make it because I didn't attach the ISO image. So here you're gonna attach that ISO image, and that's gonna be the one you download. Okay. Then you go in here and you just you don't go to existing. You create your virtual hard disk, and it said 32 first. So it said 32 gigabytes, but I mean it's Windows 7, so you probably could give it like 8 gigabytes. I don't know. Okay, just go with the whatever it has on here recommending, which is this one said 32. So if you can, um, 10 gigabytes probably work. Whatever works, you might have to change this, because you need enough space. So I think it said 32. So you might need 32 gigabytes to download this. If you don't have enough, it won't even work. It won't even create it. Okay, so that's how you do that. Okay, then it'll create it, and then you'll have your Windows 7. Right? I'm still downloading the image, so we're not going to do that on here, but that should set up your little VM environment. Now, this right here, this MySQL, once we get it installed, then we're going to go to this and we're going to install this onto Windows 7 so we can hack it. Okay? And that's it. That's it for this video. That's a long video. If you guys have any questions about how to do that in more detail, you could leave me a comment and I will answer it for you. Alright, that's it. So the next video, we're going to get into passive reconnaissance, and we're going to start doing these chapter by chapter. So we should be set up already for whatever this guy wants us to do. My next video, I should have Windows 7 in my little hacker setup here. And we should be able to, and then I'll install SQL, and then we'll be able to start doing this passive reconnaissance. I might skip this. I mean, I might just do a quick video, and then we'll get into the good stuff. So, all right, that was HackTheFile, and like I said, it's going to be a new series, becoming a master hacker. If you guys want a better detail on how to install virtual environment, look at this ethical hacking book series one. I've got a couple videos on there, and then you can watch this one too. It should help you. All right, hope you had fun.